Dawn Hour. I'm your host, Ricky C. Simmons. We're on 93.7 The Ticket. Man, I got to give a big shout out to Matt Warner and Empire Fencing out in Waverly, Nebraska, man. Those people really know what they're doing, treat you like family. They treat each other like family. Great place to work and a great place to do business. So just want to say big shout out to Matt Warner, man. Keep doing big things. Hey, I got to be honest with you. This weather, I can learn to like this. I'm wintered out. I am very happy to see 80 degrees. I'm ready to start complaining about the heat. So I just want y'all to know that I'm in a really good mood tonight because of that. And I'm also in a really good mood because I got a guest tonight, man, and we're going to have some fun and we're going to get educated because it's very interesting when people have a profession and then they have a personal life. And this guy's got a combination of both. So, Steve, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you, Ricky.
Hey, first, before we get started, man, I cannot pronounce your last name. Could you please help me out?
Of course. It's a doozy, that's for sure. It's Krivolavek.
Krivolavek.
There you go. Perfect.
What?
Yeah.
Hey, man. Don't ask me to do it again now.
I won't.
Well, Steve, man, like I say, welcome to the show. And I just, I want to get started right away, man. Basically, just finding out about your upbringing. Yeah. So, where are you from, Steve?
I am from a small town in northern Nebraska called Page, and it's only a town of 110 people.
Oh, metropolis.
Yeah, a thriving metropolis, that's for sure.
So now you say it's 100 people in the whole town?
Yeah.
Wow, man, that's that's different. Okay, so growing up in this town, what was there to do for you? I mean.
Well, you couldn't get into trouble because everybody knew what you were doing at all times.
So small town, everybody in your business, everybody know everybody. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So growing up in this little town, did you go to like a consolidated school or?
Well, back then, Page had a school that was up until 8th grade. And so you went K through 8th. And kindergarten was a single class, but then every other class had one teacher for 2 classes. So it's first, second.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So now after the 8th grade, what did you do?
So we could choose a school. And so that was typically O'Neill, Ewing, or Orchard. And I picked Orchard.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now I know where O'Neill is. I've heard of O'Neill.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a little bit bigger.
Okay.
That's where I was born.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your graduating class was how big?
High school was 32, and that was the biggest one for like 20 years.
What?
The next one behind it was 13.
Wow.
Yeah.
32 students. Okay. So after you graduated high school, man, what was the next move for Steve?
So I moved to Lincoln, Nebraska, like a lot of people. I followed a girl here, and that lasted like a week. And then I went to the university and worked here. And then, I didn't graduate from the university. I went down to Kansas City and took some accelerated classes from there. So,
okay. Yeah. Now, what did you go to school for?
It was human biology, is what I went to school for, but it was under the umbrella of pre-med or pre-chiropractic.
Okay. Yeah. And so right after you completed all your schoolwork, then was you eligible to do what you do now?
Yeah. So then after I went through all that, graduated with my human biology degree, and then I went to chiropractic school for another 3 years. So
okay.
Yeah.
Now you said I think we was talking earlier, and you said you came from a large family.
Yeah. So I come from a pretty big family. There's 6 of us boys and 2 girls.
Okay.
And so at one point, so back in Page, we lived in a 2-bedroom house. And when my grandma lived with us, there's 11 people in that house. So
in a 2-bedroom house.
Yeah.
Wow.
1 bathroom.
Wow. Now, where do you fall in that? In the kids, are you the youngest, oldest?
So I am 7 of 8. I have a younger sister named Taniana, actually. So,
oh man,
yeah. Taniana Krivolavek.
You guys got some names, man. I'll be honest with you. I'm glad I ain't got to pronounce those. So you were next to the youngest.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, youngest boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you told me a story about how you got your name, Steve.
Yeah. So that's an interesting one. So in Page, we had a neighbor, and she told one of my older brothers that we should name, when I was, anyways, right before I was born, should name him Steve. And anyways, my mom, was like, okay.
So Steve it is.
Yes.
Well, Steve, excuse me. Steve, tell us all about basically how you got started in your business of being a chiropractor.
So when I was 11 years old, I had gotten hurt playing sports, and I went kind of the regular medical route, and didn't really get too much results. So then my mom, who went to a chiropractor regularly, said, "Hey, let's go to Dr. Sitz up in O'Neill." And so I went to chiropractor there, and he got me, playing baseball again. And then from there, when I went into the office, I really saw how happy people were. And so that was, very different than going to other medical offices.
Mm-hmm.
And so it intrigued my interest from there.
Okay. So then you just had this desire to do this.
And so I went to my guidance counselor once I got to high school, and talked to Mr. Maris there. And he's like, yeah, well, it takes 8 years of schooling. And since I didn't like school, I was like, yeah, not going to do that.
But, the thing is, though, man, you stuck with it.
Yeah.
You stuck with it. And I'm looking at 2-bedroom house with all those people to becoming a chiropractor.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, that's, I got to tell this quick story too, how me and Steve met.
I love it.
Yeah, I was, I think we was at Dillard's maybe.
Dillard's, yeah.
Yeah, I was in Dillard's. And this little boy was walking, and he had on a Husker jersey with number 7 on it. Now, everybody that knows me knows I'm partial to number 7. So I didn't think it was smart to give a football card to the little boy. So I assumed that you were his dad. So I was like, is that your son? And you said, yes.
Yeah.
So I said, can I give him something? And you looked at me like, what is it? So I gave you the card, and when you gave it, and then I walked off. And then all of a sudden I'm standing at the counter, and this little kid comes over and says, thank you. And I was pretty impressed with that because, kids got manners, at least he said, thank you. Then I asked him a favor. I bent down. I go, hey, I need a favor. He goes, what's that? I said, I need you to take a picture with me and put it on social media so you can make me famous. He said, oh, I can do that. Very confident young man.
Yes.
So we ended up taking a picture. And then I think the next day I saw it on Wellness One.
Yeah.
On their page. So, man, I'm very glad that I got to meet your son and your wife. And I think your daughter was with you too, was it?
Yeah, I got 2 daughters.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I met them that day, and I was like, man. And then I had the unfortunate accident that sent me to the chiropractor, and I didn't have a clue where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let's see. Wellness One. Let me get my Google on. And that's how I found you, man. So I want to thank you for everything you're doing for me. I love your staff, man. I mean, Amanda, Amber, and Ade. Man, they take good care of me, man.
They're the best.
Yeah, I think you got a great staff there, man.
Oh, I'm very blessed in that front.
Yeah, you are, because every time I come in, they always got a big smile on their face. They enjoy what they do, and laughing doesn't bother them.
No.
Yeah, and I think that's important, man. I think laughter, it makes everything a little bit easier.
Oh, I would agree with that.
So how long have you been doing this?
It has been 15 years now. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I practiced down in Kansas City for about a year, and then moved to Lincoln and started my own. And then I joined a practice after that, and then took over eventually. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell y'all something. Well, if you ever need a chiropractor, Wellness One. I'm putting that out there. I want y'all to know that's the place to go. Share some things about being in business. Just what is that like for you? Because now like you say you took over.
Mm-hmm.
What's that like for you?
It is a difficult task. About 25% of it I do not like whatsoever, but 75% of it I just absolutely love. And it's just like this, having a conversation. Obviously, it's mostly about people's health and stuff like that.
Right.
And I am very passionate about helping people, and in any capacity that I can, because I know that there's a lot of people out there that, may not think of chiropractic as helping them. And so I try to help online through various ways too. But yeah, I really enjoy 75% of it.
I noticed that you do a lot of social media stuff. Tell us about the social media, different outlets that you use.
Yeah, so I use most everything. And what I try to do is just put information out there that can help the masses, that's relatable to most people, whether they live here in Nebraska or, New York, something like that. And so just giving them tips on things that they can do to help themselves now, and in hopes to make their life better in the future and be able to do things as they age too.
Yeah, well, I mean, I understand that sometimes the way you explain things, because I've watched some of your videos, you put it in layman terms for, as far as where I see it, because at least I can understand it. Sometimes, no offense, but sometimes doctors talk over your head.
Yeah.
And that makes it difficult, because when you don't understand something, it's not easy to listen to.
Yeah.
So you need to keep doing that.
Well,
tell me when you started this Wellness One, did you start it where you are now, or did you have a different location?
We did. We were at 72nd and Pioneer. That's where I first went into the practice with another doctor, and then took it over from there, and moved over to 70th and Van Dorn, where our current location is now, and have loved it over there. Great group of people around that practice, and really enjoy being there.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, like I said, you guys do wonderful work, and I just want to make sure everybody understands that I really highly recommend you guys.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, because you guys have done well by me, and boy, I was a little concerned because I had never been, but I heard the horror stories, and sometimes that kind of has an effect on you.
It does.
Yeah, but I mean, after going there and seeing exactly what you guys do, I mean, it made it a lot easier that your staff is so easy, and their people skills are off the chart.
Yeah.
I mean, that's big, because in today's society, people skills are taking a hit. People don't know how to talk to people. People get offended really easy, but I mean, they're always real pleasant to be around, man. And I think that's a big benefit to your business as well.
Oh yeah, it is taken a while to find a couple of those people. The first person was actually there before me, and I have been so grateful to have her along with me the entire time, and she has always cared about chiropractic alone. Sometimes I think she cares more about it than I do, but I love her for that.
Yeah,
that is so awesome. And
that's what you want, though. You want people around you that care, because sometimes when the things that you're not taking care of, you'll know they're taken care of properly. Yeah. And you got other people around you that have the same interest.
Yeah.
So I admire that. Can you tell us something about the business that we don't know? I mean, I know what you have to do. What's it really like, man, for us being in that position every day? Because you got to deal with all kinds of different personalities.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is that a challenge sometimes too?
Well, part of my upbringing, right or wrong, it's just how it was I grew up in a bar. And so you dealt with a lot of variations of people. And so like it's, so yeah, you do have to deal with those people.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of different personalities, and it's been great though.
Yeah, well, reason why I asked that question because I'm thinking a lot of times when people come to you, they're in pain.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that ain't usually when people are the most happiest.
No. No, and so you do have to realize that, and we talk about that in staff meetings where it's like we have to realize that these people are in pain and they may not be happy, but it's watching that transformation from them not being happy to actually being able to go back to doing the things that they love, and then they become happy and grateful to us.
Yeah,
so it's great to see a transformation in people like
well,
that.
And that's why I said that, man, because I mean, I know I'm speaking from personal experience. When I first came, I didn't know what to expect, and it's not always easy, like you say, when stuff hurts. You can't, you don't know how to really explain where you hurt, and how much it hurts. So you just got to kind of take, for example, that wherever you're at, they're going to fix it.
Yeah.
And when you don't have control over that, and then too, we live in I call it a RAT now society, not a right now, but a rat now. We want to feel better yesterday. we don't want to hear about no week down the road. I want to come one time and I want everything to be perfect.
Yeah. And I wish that was the case. Most of the time it's not. Yeah. I wish I was a miracle worker, but that doesn't always happen. And so in our, when we're talking to people, we do have to reiterate that over and over, but you are exactly right. People want it right now.
Yeah, they want it R-A-T, not right. Rat. Yeah. Hair up. You ain't got me well yet, doc. But no, actually, man, you guys do, like I said, your staff makes it a lot easier too, because when you're with a patient and your staff is dealing with other people coming in, they make people feel comfortable as well.
Yeah.
And that's important.
Very important.
Very important. Well, I got to ask you another question. We're going to go to break in a few minutes, but I got one more question before we go to break. Now, you said you had to get the staff that you got now, you had to go through a couple of people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to say this. The staff you have now, I think, is second to none.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to ask now. You're not going to change the staff up on me, are you?
Oh, no. Okay. I would like to just add to that team.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I tell you what, you keep them and they will train whoever else you bring on, and you'll keep this thing going.
Yeah.
I think that's a smart move.
Yeah.
Real smart move.
Very smart move.
Well, hey, look, we're going to take a quick break here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's to Get You Happy on Hour. We'll be right back with Steve, a.k.a. Dr. K.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska, or online in your own home. Learn to ride a motorcycle, how to start a small business, how to dance, or take a course to advance in your current career path. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
Looking for a job that feels like family? Join Lincoln Industries, where tradition meets innovation. They're a family-owned, privately held manufacturing company with a passion for excellence and a commitment to their community. They have openings on all shifts at both the main plant and air park facilities, offering flexibility to fit your schedule. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, there's a place for you there. At Lincoln Industries, they invest in their people's success, providing opportunities for growth and advancement. Apply now and become a part of something special at Lincoln Industries.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
and electrical.
Grab a free burger and beer at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln on April 27th during their Husker Spring Game tailgate. Meet the Elway Power Sports team, play some tailgate games with them, and enter for a chance to win an official John Elway autographed football. Check out their huge selection of boats and watercraft for the summer, along with hundreds of motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides from all the major brands. Stop out and watch the game with them on April 27th at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, 27th and I-80. They'll be tailgating all day.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Nutrition Authority invites you to try Anarchy, which is an exciting free workout for athletes and fitness enthusiasts who want the most out of their workout. Anarchy can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Remember, when you want results, the solution is simple. Nutrition Authority. Stop in, call, or check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
Back to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
And we're back. Hey, during the break, I had to go do some voice maintenance. I was having some throat issues. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's just from being a speaker, but I got secret sprays, so I can't tell y'all about my secret sprays, but it worked. Ben, we got somebody over at comment, bro.
Yeah, we got a few comments. Brett said, "Get my happy on. Happy Sunday, big bro."
Okay, big shout out to Brett.
Odious said, "I see you doing your doing your thing, well, bro."
What's up, big brother?
And then Carla Walker said, "Dr. K, do patients get bonus points for pronouncing your name correctly?"
That's a question you got to ask.
Of course they do. We have a gong in the office, and they rap that thing when they get it right.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Man, that's a hard name to pronounce, but I like Dr. K. That keeps it simple for everybody. Thank you, Ben.
Yeah, and my name is Czech, and so, but my father was adopted, and so I just get the cool last name. I'm not actually Czech.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got you. I got you. Well, Carla, I don't know if you get that bonus or not, but you know what? That's a valid question. I'll have to keep that in mind. And I just want to give a big shout out to Carla too, for she's down in Georgia watching, and big shout out to your mom too, Carla. I hope she's listening. So thank you guys for when she was in town, you guys stopped by the station and got a chance to see the new spot. And Carla, at some point, you're going to have to be a guest, so don't be ducking me. I'll put you on blast in front of everybody. So next, we're going to talk about back to Dr. K. So you grew up in this, I'm just kind of recapping right quick. You grew up in a small 2-bedroom house with up to 11 people in there at one time with one bathroom.
Yep.
Man, you know what? That makes people like myself appreciate what I have, because a lot of times we take things for granted, and people see you today and they go, well, he's a chiropractor, he's doing big things, and what you are, but it wasn't always like that for you. So, I mean, I'm proud of you as well, and I just want to let you know that, because sometimes, like we were talking before the show, I think our society gets caught up in giving people their flowers after they're no longer with us, and I disagree with that. I think you should give people the flowers while they're here. I give Ben a hard time all the time when he comes in, and sometimes Ben has to be here like from 3:00 till like 10. But he's a college student, and he's flying by the seat of his pants. So Ben, I want you to tell everybody what you do when you what is it that you forget to bring every time you got to stay till like 10:00?
It may or may not be food.
It is food, Ben, and you know it is. He be in here at 3:00. He done already ate before he got here. And then around about 8:00, when it's time to do my show, his stomach is growling.
Hey, man, I'm working here.
Well, yeah, but hey, they do have little breaks, Ben. I just want you to know.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, you can bring something to eat sometimes.
I get through.
Okay. Well, I just want you to know, if you're not going to be able to get nothing to eat, you should let me know. You got my number. I'll bring you some when I come, okay?
I'm good.
I had to give him a hard time, man, because sometimes he'll be in here from 3 to 10, man, with no food. I'm like, come on, Ben, it ain't nothing here to eat on Sunday night. Everything's closed. But no, growing up in Page, man, small town, I grew up in a small town, but not that small. Yeah. I mean, 100 people, man, that's a neighborhood,
It is.
So, I mean, that's kind of different. But, I think coming from humble beginnings, I think it grounded you, because you seem to have taken it to another level when it wasn't. I mean, God, let's be real, man. Page, come on. I mean, I'm not putting Page down, but I'm just saying that's a small town to get to where you're at.
Yeah, I would agree. In that small house that we grew up in, we had to, like, my mom would boil hot water, just to make our bath, warm, because obviously I was number 7, so I was far down the line taking a bath.
Right.
It's just all sorts of things about growing up.
Now, are all your brothers and sisters still with us?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 2 of them live here in Lincoln, roughly, and then 2 of them down in Kansas City, 1 back home, and then my sister lives I have 1 sister down close to Osage Beach in Eldon, and then 1 close to Norfolk. So
okay. And what about your parents?
So my father has passed. He passed about 8 years ago.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you. And then my mother's still around. She just turned 80 this year. Shout out to Linda. She is a most amazing person.
80 years old, you're still a young lady. So you know what? You got to get your happy on.
Yeah, she definitely deserves her flowers. That's for sure.
Yes. And that's exactly what this is about, man. Acknowledging your brothers and sisters, acknowledging your family. Because, man, let's face it, man. Our society is geared toward negativity, and I just refuse to feed that. I have this mindset of, if I don't feed it, it can't grow. So I just try to stay on a positive tip, even though I am not blind or naive. I see what everybody else sees, but I just don't want to focus on that.
Yeah.
I like focusing on the positive. And speaking of, I'm kind of excited about, I think your son's name is Oliver.
Yeah.
I'm excited about Oliver's little sports career that he's Priscilla, can you tell us about that?
For sure. He currently plays a lot of soccer, and so he has fallen in love with soccer and is playing that every weekend, practices multiple times a week, and he has such a love for sports. It'll be really fun to see how he grows and what he moves into. I don't know if he'll stick with soccer, but he's going to play baseball this summer. And he talks about football constantly, which, we'll see where that goes.
Now, how old is Oliver again?
Oliver is only 8 years old. So,
Well, he's definitely a boss.
Yeah.
He's a boss. Because I keep seeing it when I think about what I asked him. Hey, man, can you do me a favor? He's like, what's that? Like we got some top secret information going on here. He goes, I said, I need you to take a picture with me. He's like, I said, I need you to make me famous. Oh, I can do that. I'll never forget that. That was very funny, man. Good kid. I also want to talk to you about some other things too, but the thing that stands out to me is now that you have moved into what you're doing,
mm-hmm.
How does that make you feel when you think back over, like your upbringing? I mean, that's got to give you a little sense of, feeling good about yourself.
Yeah, it does. And it just makes me think, where can I go in the future too? How many more lives can I affect, and maybe even on a bigger scale too? And so I'm very grateful for my brothers who gave me more of a father figure, and looking up to them and being able to have that. And so, there's just a whole lot about how I grew up that I'm just super grateful for. My mom, had me go through all CCD, everything in church. So you get those, all of that through church.
Right,
yeah.
right.
And so,
well, see, you got the advantage of having that. I call it the small town upbringing, which to me, I'm not knocking being raised in a city or nothing, but I just think small town, you're more humble and grateful, whereas, and then too, if I had to guess, there probably was this thing called discipline in your house as well.
Yeah, especially with my mother. Yeah. It was one thing to get spanked by my dad, but you didn't want that by me.
See, discipline, I think discipline now is kind of like outdated. I think it's called child abuse. And that's just the way I see it, because you can't really discipline a kid.
Mm-hmm.
You can talk to them and you can make suggestions, but I think discipline now is taking away their technical toys.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I see as discipline now, because I've seen some parents say, well, okay, you done this, then no phone for, a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, and that seems to hit them a lot harder than if you actually gave them what we call discipline.
Yeah, you do have to change as a parent. And so, it's been interesting growing up with all the information and everything that we have now, and how to do that with kids. It's definitely different than how I grew up, but there's still some like core values that you can instill in your kids.
Right.
And that's where it comes into play, saying thank you and please and all those things. And if they don't say that, then I need to be there and tell them to go do that, or, or there's, they just need to know that that's the way it needs to be.
I mean, and this is going to sound a little weird, but to this very day, from my upbringing, I still say, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am, to people half my age. I mean, I'll see a high school kid working at Hy-Vee, and I come through the line and, is there anything else? Did you find everything okay? Yes, ma'am. And they're probably 17, but it's practice, and another thing that I had instilled in me as a kid was, I open doors, especially for females. I mean, I just open the door. I don't got to know you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going in the post office. There's a lady behind me. I'll open the door and let her go first.
Mm-hmm.
It's just habit. And I think those things are they're not that big of a deal to a lot of people, but they're huge with me. I think respect, gratitude, being humble, treating people the way you want to be treated. I still believe in all that. The only catch to it is I don't expect it in return. That's how I get by with it, because I have held doors for people that actually like I worked at that store. Like that was my job to hold the door for them. I mean, they can't even say thank you. Which is fine. You don't owe me nothing, but I just think that's kind of different.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that is a super important thing to instill in kids and do yourself. And I always tell my children, watch how I treat people. And then that puts the onus back on me also to show them how to treat people too. And so I think that's an important thing. It's one thing to say how to treat people and what to do, but it's doing it yourself and showing yourself.
Leading by example.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's very important. And no offense before I say this, but a lot of parents, I think sometimes they kind of drop the ball on that.
Yeah, I would agree.
That's just my observation.
Yeah, they allow the kids to dictate a lot of things going on in their life. And that's...
well, the one thing I think that still stands out to me is the way that kids talk back to their parents. I mean, I saw this one... I got the chance to see this one situation where I was visiting one of my friends, and the little boy got mad about something, and he ran to his room and shut his door. And my friend just kind of laughed. I'm like, man, I was just thinking to myself, if I would have tried that, my dad would have took the door off. You wouldn't have had a door, But like I say, it's the difference in time, and I get that, and I respect it. I just think that sometimes, the lack of discipline sometimes hurts.
Yeah, and that I do believe there's going to be some translation with that lack of discipline from how they're treating their parents is how they're going to be online, and eventually that's going to come back to haunt them. So it's instilling that into your kids. So then, since we are a big online world currently, they're going to take those and use it online too, and it won't come back to haunt them.
Well, and out of fairness, I know people are going to find this hard to believe, but I was once a teenager, and I didn't always do the things that I should have done. That's why I had all the trouble that I had. But I feel like I was blessed to survive. So now it's like, I don't got it all figured out, but I know what not to do, So that's where I kind of spend my time. And I always try to encourage people, man, to try to stay positive and be happy. Even when things aren't going well, that's when I try to be the happiest, because something about things not going right and a bad attitude equals consequences that I don't want to deal with. So I always be real careful with that. Can you tell us, now that you're living in Lincoln and you've been there for a little while, what do you like about Lincoln?
I do enjoy the small town feel. And so I'll give you a story. When my wife's from Kansas City, and so when we moved to Lincoln, we ran into two people that we knew in one day. And she goes, "Is this normal?" Because in Kansas City, you don't run into anybody.
Right.
So I do love that about Lincoln.
Yeah. It's a larger place with a small town feel.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Because I do, but then too, I frequent the same places too. So
true.
Same grocery store, same gas station, same drugstore.
Yeah.
So I tend to run into a lot of the same people.
Yeah.
I get that. But the one thing I will say about Lincoln that I like is, for the most part, I'm a kind of a homebody. So as long as I mind my business, people tend to leave me alone. And I like that, because in some of the cities, you can be doing some of the simplest things and negativity will find you. whether it be pumping gas, walking to your house.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it could be a lot worse, And the town where I grew up is called Greenville, Texas, but Dallas is only like Omaha to Lincoln away.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of experience in Dallas that was not pleasant.
Yeah.
But Lincoln's a really, it's a unique place. And I'm excited about being here now because I've gotten older. So I have less interest in being out. I have no interest in going to the bars. so it's perfect for me. Now, I'm sure some other people will probably disagree with that. But I'm comfortable with Lincoln.
Yeah, I love Lincoln for the family aspect of
Right.
it, that kind of small town feel. And you can find your community where you want it. There's all sorts of different communities in Lincoln, very diverse. And so I appreciate that about Lincoln.
Now, you say you got 2 daughters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what are they into?
So they love dance. Shout out to Nebraska Ballet Theater and School. That place has created an amazing community where they are raising some beautiful girls with beautiful minds. Like they treat each other so well. I'm always impressed when I go there. So
okay.
Yeah.
So they got between Oliver and the 2 girls, you and chiropractic, you're pretty busy.
Oh yeah. Taxi service all over the place. So
no, you're Uber.
Yeah, Uber. Okay, yeah. Let's get into the 21st century.
Well, hey, you guys don't go anywhere. We're going to take another break, and we'll be right back with 93.7 The Ticket to get you happy on out.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
Hello?
Believe it or not, old phones are one of the most common pain points in offices today. Many of these phones are beyond repair because parts aren't available to fix outdated devices. Whether it's a traditional phone system or cloud-based VoIP technology, Hamilton Business Phones can help upgrade your connection. We make it easy to sync your office phone with your cell for seamless call handling, no matter where you work. If your current office phone can't do this, you deserve better. Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Grab a free burger and beer at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln on April 27th during their Husker Spring Game tailgate. Meet the Elway Power Sports team, play some tailgate games with them, and enter for a chance to win an official John Elway autographed football. Check out their huge selection of boats and watercraft for the summer, along with hundreds of motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides from all the major brands. Stop out and watch the game with them on April 27th. Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, 27th and I-80. They'll be tailgating all day.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
I see the future in our public school classrooms every day. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. I also see how critically important parent and community support is to our students' success. Support your public schools. Get involved. Form a business school partnership or become a school volunteer. Great schools and great communities work hand in hand.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
When you're in New York, Nick, in New York, I mean, you're talking about, you see mafioso types. You go into a restaurant and you would literally eat. Hey, come on over here. You know, they I don't know how to say it. I don't got the accent, but they would say, come, Strick, come over. Have a drink on me. And what are you going to do? Say no?
You not say
you
no
don't
to that?
say no to the drink. You don't say no.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
Back to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
And we're back. Hey, we got a few minutes left, you know, and I have a lot of fun with all my guests. And like I've said several times, I always handpick my guests. And I got to give a special shout out to Ben, man, my producer. He makes me look good, and that's a tough job. And I just want him to know that I'm proud of him as well, because he don't have to do that, but he does it. And he puts up with me, and that's another full-time job. So thank you, Ben.
Ricky, love you, Ricky.
Okay, all right, we good then. In other words, you're not gonna throw me under the bus.
No throwing under the bus.
All right,
love
okay.
it.
Well, I got a producer, so I got to ask you. Last question for you. Well, no, I got two questions for you. Next to last question is, what's your future plans?
Future plans would be, still continue with chiropractic, but I do want to expand more of my online presence and give people ideas of what they can do to help themselves at home and make themselves better, just through all the knowledge that I learn through chiropractic, and then learning outside of that. I want to feed that to people and help them out.
Okay. Well, you're already doing an excellent job with that. So just keep doing what you're doing, and know that I'm proud of you, and I appreciate what you've done for me, and you're still doing for me. Actually, I think I'll be there tomorrow. So, but I gotta ask this question, because this is a question I ask all my guests. When you do get time from being Uber, chiropractor, father, husband, all the stuff you got going on, how do you get your happy on?
So I am a bit of an electric vehicle nerd. Like, for some odd reason, I have this infatuation with it. And I love learning about them, and just, learning all the new things. And I currently have an electric car that has 210,000 miles on it, and working on that car. And obviously when it has that many miles on it, it needs fixed. And so I work on that myself, and I just, enjoy that for some odd reason. But I used to work on old cars
if you don't
back
mind
in
me
the day
asking,
too.
what kind of electric car do you have?
I have a Tesla Model S. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And what year is it?
It's a 2013, so it's 11 years old.
Okay, but man, I'm scared of electric cars.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I'm old school. I like gasoline. I mean,
no, I like gasoline too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But that's your thing, electric cars.
I do enjoy them, and I really don't know why, I guess.
Coming from Page, Nebraska, an electric car. Boy, you doing big things. But hey, look, I want to thank you again for being on the show. And again, I want to thank my producer, Ben, man, for putting up with us and making us look good. But I always wrap my shows up with the same thing every week because I like to end on a positive note. Hopefully, it'll start people's week off with a positive vibe. So every day that you're blessed to see, it truly is another day in paradise. And no matter what, you got to get your happy on. Go! Thank y'all for tuning in. See you next Sunday night, 8 o'clock.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. And Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the